What's up, you guys? How you doing today? So in today's video, we're going to be teaching you guys about buying prime junk in Warframe. And I spent a couple of days ago, I wound up spending about an hour and a half in trade chat just buying prime junk. The first trade that I made, though, of my 25 trades was I just needed a couple of Captura scenes for like thumbnails and stuff for videos. But once I got that out of the way, there was 24 trades that took me an hour and a half, all prime junk. And I've basically recorded the whole thing, so you guys are going to be seeing like a lot of prime junk, so you guys can get an idea as to what happens when you just randomly say you want to buy prime junk. Ideally, when you're buying prime junk, the purpose of it is so that you can take those parts and you can give them to the void trader. You can turn them into ducats and you can give them. That's why you're buying quote-unquote junk. But one man's trash is another man's treasure. There's a lot of times that when you're buying prime junk, you'll get, people giving you items that are maybe worth 45 ducats, maybe worth 100. They'll be giving you uncommon and rare items. And whether they realize it or not, even if they realize it, to them it might be junk. To them it might be, well, I don't think I'll ever be able to sell this in trade chat or whatever reason it might be, but they're totally willing to throw it away, and they do. Which is pretty cool. So buying prime junk, you can't guarantee you're gonna get good stuff from people, but if you do it long enough, you're gonna find some good items from it. So I just want to go over like some important stuff with you guys to realize about buying prime junk. First of all, there are a bunch of items in the game that really should be qualified as junk. And any item that came out with like a Warframe as like an unvaulting should never be considered prime junk. That will always maintain a platinum value. So there's never a scenario where that should ever be considered junk. The kind of weapons that should be considered junk are weapons that never came out in a vaulting, like or in an unvaulting, or as a prime access. Any items that never came out in prime access, that's what should be considered junk. These items, are like the Ak Bronco, the Bratton, the Burston, the Bronco, the Fang, the Lex, the Orthos, the Paris. These weapons are not likely to ever get vaulted because they never came in the game with a frame. They never wound up being a part of a prime access. So as of this moment in time, weapons like that should kind of always be considered junk, at least from a buying point of view. Now, the Orthos, for example, one of the best polearms in the entire game. The Paris is a fantastic bow. You guys can red crit with a Paris Prime. So all these weapons that I just listed, like, they're not necessarily bad weapons at all. It's just that because they never came into the game in a prime access, you're not really going to have to worry too much about oh, well, these weapons might get taken out and their value will increase, no, there's really none of that. If DE doesn't change anything about what they're doing with how they release these items into the game or how they take them out, if everything remains the same and they're following the same path that they've been for the last 4 or 5 years, then those weapons I just listed, they'll kind of always be junk as far as buying prime junk goes, but that doesn't necessarily mean they're bad. Just keep that in mind. Also, same thing goes. Like, if any of those weapons have parts where, they're valued at, let's say, like 100 ducats or something like that, that still might be good to hold on to, because it'd be a lot better for you to get platinum out of it than ducats. I mean, as you guys can see, like, as the video's going, there's loads and loads of weapon, stuff that I keep getting, like loads and loads of parts, and I'm looking at this stuff, and if it's none of the things that I just mentioned on that list, if any all the things that I've been getting that have an opportunity to get vaulted at some point, if they're not already vaulted, that's platinum to me. Like, I'm gonna turn around and turn that into platinum. I'm not even gonna dare turn that into like prime or whatchamacallit, ducats. So it's kind of a really cool way for you guys to just take care of your ducats, and at the same time, if, you feel that you pick up any parts that have any value, that's just extra platinum for you. So this whole buying prime junk thing is pretty cool. The standard for buying prime junk, because I see it fluctuate a little bit here and there, but for the most part, most people don't know what the standard is. The standard is you spend 10 platinum, you get 5 parts. Like, and that's it. It's random. It's whatever 5 parts you have. I wouldn't sit there and be the kind of person that's like, oh, well, I'm going to give you 10 platinum for like 5 parts, but I want specific parts. I want you to give me these. That's not how buying prime junk works. If you're gonna be that person, just shut up and like specifically ask for what you're looking for. Don't like waste people's time by being like, I'm gonna buy prime junk, but oh, I don't want that junk. That's not how that works. You're spending very, very, very little in platinum for 5 items that ultimately you could turn around and like double, triple, quadruple the price of, you know, the 10 plat you spent on them if you wanted to spend time selling them individually in chat. But that's not what you're doing. You're buying prime junk. So for those of you that like may want to be specific with people and be like that, or to those of you that maybe that are selling your stuff as junk to somebody that wants to buy it, you find somebody that's being like specific like that, I would just cut the trade out and like cut your losses. Like just go look for somebody else. Like I really wouldn't encourage people that are gonna like be specific about what it is, you know, they want you to give them when they're trying to buy prime junk. If that's the case, they're not using, I don't know, from my point of view, they're just being a pain in the balls. And I totally wouldn't even, like, bother with those people. But for the most part, all you guys are really doing is just spending 10 plat, and it's kind of like a fun little thing. Like, I've kind of gotten a little addicted to buying prime junk. And, it's just, you know, like, even like, whatever it is that I wind up getting, whatever winds up, you know, getting given out, when I'm buying this prime junk, a lot of the times, I want to say most of the time, people generally give good stuff. Like, especially if you're going to blow through, let's say, even 20 trades. You know, like, it takes you an hour, hour and a half, and you blow through 20 trades. If somebody winds up giving you, like, you know, anything that wasn't on that list I mentioned previously, the stuff that doesn't get vaulted, anybody gives you something else other than that stuff, you're kind of good. Like, you should be pretty happy about that, because that stuff's pretty cool. But let's see, what else would you guys want to know about prime junk? So, standard is 10 plat for 5 parts, right? I see a lot of people in trade chat that want to be like, I want to sell my junk for 12 platinum for 5 parts. Okay, that's cool, like, you do you know, maybe you'll find somebody that didn't see this video or whatever, but the standard is 10. It's been 10 for over, at least well over a year, at least well over, maybe even over 2 years, but for as long as I've been playing the game, that's just what it's been. It's been, you buy prime junk, 5 parts for 10 platinum. So the people that want to milk more platinum out of you, just ignore them. I'm telling you guys flat out, as somebody that's been putting loads and loads of how to make platinum videos out for you guys, and really excited to see that you guys are making loads of platinum. Links are in the description below if you guys haven't seen any of my previous trade chat videos, but you guys are really banking it with what you're doing, and I'm man excited about that, because the more platinum that you guys make and the more platinum that's getting circulated around trade chat, it's kind of it has a positive effect. It's just good vibes all around. Like, the happier people feel about trade chat, the better of a time that they have in it, the more likely other people are going to be like, oh, I want to get involved in this, and then maybe they'll support Warframe a little bit. They'll buy some platinum on their own, and then they'll get into trade chat, and they'll start, you know, like, selling stuff. Side note, for any of you guys that are new to Warframe, your 50 starter platinum, that is not tradable. And the reason why it's not tradable is because even though it's in the terms of service, that I'm sure most people don't even bother reading, but it's in Warframe's terms of service, you're not allowed to make multiple accounts. And what some smart people would have figured out is that, oh, I could just keep creating side accounts and take that 50 platinum for every one of those accounts and transfer it over to the one account that I want to use, and then boom, you've just made yourself a platinum making system. But you can't do that because DE was, you know, like, smart enough to know that people would try that, so your starter platinum is not tradable, and that's the reason why. So if, you know, you're brand new and you have that 50 starter plat, you're not going to be able to use that in trade chat. So your best bet, as I recommend all the time, is use that on Warframe slots and weapon slots. That is the biggest recommendation that I have for your starting plat. But back to buying prime junk, you guys. It's honestly, I think it's loads of fun. I really enjoy buying, like, all this prime stuff because 2 things happens. I'm increasing the amount of sets that I wind up having. A lot of times when I'm cracking relics, you always go after, when you crack the relics open, you always go after the rare parts or the uncommon parts. So now when you're buying prime junk, these are filling out a lot of sets that I've, you know, or helping me create a lot of sets now, because I don't have a lot of common things. And I'm buying it at such low platinum that now when it completes a full set, I can turn around and make way more than 10 platinum for whatever set that just completed. So it's really convenient. Like, it's actually a really nice thing to do. It's kind of fun, you know, because you're basically like, hey everybody, I'm looking to buy junk. And when you do it, I recommend that if you're all about buying prime junk, you set your filter in the trade chat to just the word junk. This way you only ever see if people are selling or buying prime junk, like you know what your competition is. And when I say competition, I mean like just stick with the 10 platinum for 5 parts. Don't like if you see somebody else is like, oh, we'll give you 12 platinum for 5 parts or whatever. He's only gonna have, that person's only gonna have so many trades a day. Don't worry about that. And besides, this isn't something that you should even consider competing with, because there's so many people that are willing to give you prime junk. I mean, 25 trades in an hour and a half. Like, they're just throwing stuff at you. You know what I mean? Like, there are loads of people that are willing to do this. But hopefully you guys found this video helpful. Thank you guys so much for watching. I absolutely love your faces. You want to check out more Warframe content, links are in the description below, whether it's walkthroughs, builds, whether you guys want to learn how to do some spies or whatever it might be, or even making loads of platinum. Links, as always, are in the description down below. Love your faces. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I will see you guys in the next one.